Golvach, please remain. And then I think Pedro Rivera was my other gentleman that's going to join you, Mr. Golvach. And then on deck will be Maria Espinoza and David Carter are on deck. Golvach, let me recognize you first. And again, state your name for the record.
Dan Golvach. I'm here with the Remembrance Project, and I represent myself. And I'm in support of 1252. And I think it's a good bill. It's a great bill because it's, to me, what I've learned from this, losing my son, that it's sort of glaringly evident that the federal government doesn't seem very invested in securing the border, very invested in securing the border, which my understanding is a constitutional duty of theirs. So, but it's not happening. They're not following the laws, and the ramification of that is I have a dead son, and I think that I don't think this is just anecdotal. I think that there's some statistics that would suggest that it's time to do what we can within the law, with like this compact agreement to make ourselves safe. I mean, we're not safe. It's that simple. And I don't understand. Can I ask a question? Am I allowed to?
I have an answer for you, Mr. Golvach.
I don't understand it. To me, this seems like this is a big deal. Okay, this is. I don't understand. You might be able to clue me in on how these committees work, but this is a major issue. Why are not all the senators that are supposed to sit on the committee here? Why would he not be here?
Well, Mr. Golvach, let me answer it this way. Senator Lucio also chairs IGR. There are times I sit on State Affairs, which is meeting right now, and
it just seems like it's pretty. I can't imagine anything.
You're right. I mean, it is a big issue, and just give you some of my own personal sentiments that look, I cannot share the burden that you have borne because I haven't lost a son.
You can't candy coat it. Let me tell you.
What I can tell you is that in my 20 plus years of service to this nation, wearing the uniform of the United States Army, the number of countries that I have been into, there's only 2 that I didn't walk in with either a passport or deployment orders that said, here's why I'm legally there, whether it was under the NATO, Southeast Asia, whatever, Central America, whatever countries I was in. The only 2 countries I've been in without that paperwork was Iraq and Kuwait in 1991. I didn't need paperwork. I needed, an armored cavalry regiment to get in there, and that was no problem with an armored cavalry regiment to do so. But what this really is about, it's about the rule of law and respecting those that we are charged with protecting. It's one of the reasons why your state legislature is working on this issue so hard, because of either absence, dereliction, whatever word we want to use federally. Because citizens of this state, who are by right citizens of this nation, are dealing with the torment and challenges and absence of a family member. It's just that simple. And look, even if I don't like what the law says, I'm obliged to obey it. And that is the essence of a governing society that must be self-disciplined to be self-governing. And if you delink those, if we're no longer self-disciplined to be able to enforce the law, then we will no longer be self-governing at some point. And that's the slope that we are on when it comes to immigration. Look, it doesn't matter what color you are or where you come from. Citizenship is precious because it's an affair of the heart and the mind, and your relationship to the new nation that has allowed you to come in, and you've lawfully done so, and then you've gone through the assimilation process, that 7 years it takes to become a citizen, that makes being a U.S. citizen very, very special. It's precious and it's sacred. Citizenship doesn't come by simply standing in the geographic boundaries of that nation. I can tell you the number of nations I have stood in their geographical boundaries, and I was not a citizen of them.
Right,
but I had a status of forces agreement or some other international treaty that my government had coordinated with other governments that allowed me to do that. And
I toured
I
Europe.
to turn this into my experience. But I'm trying to make sure you understand that I know how big an issue this is, and though it was referred to a 3-senator subcommittee.
I was just a question. I understand. I mean, I toured Europe, and my tour manager told me, you might lose your guitar, but you better not lose that passport. And they meant business over there.
Yeah. I toured Europe, but it wasn't with a guitar. Other questions, Senator Hall?
Yeah, just to try to answer your question, this is your government stepping up to step into what is a void that where we're, as you well know, we're an imperfect nation with imperfect humans in there. But when we see something that is wrong, is what we have gravitated to over a number of years. This is not something that just happened. It has been growing and festering for quite a while now, with a great reluctance from a number of people, and we don't need to go into the motivations behind it. It's need to say it's there. We know what it is, and this is an attempt to right that wrong, to change the course we're on, and get back to being the law-based nation that we're supposed to be. And as Chairman Golvach said, we have laws that we may not agree with, but there are laws. And our problem we have found here, and has been testified to today, and now I'm sure there'll be more, is the lack of obedience to the law by the people who are supposed to be enforcing the law. It's not just the lawbreakers here that are the problem. It is the situation, and so this is where we are moving towards doing that. And as Senator Birdwell, this is the Border Security Subcommittee. We only have 2/3 of us here. That's a bigger percentage than is in most committees because of the committees being at the same time. And this is only the first step in the process. We have several steps to go yet to get there. But believe me, you've got some people here who are working on it. And
I want to clarify. I'm very appreciative of what.
I know you are. I know.
I do appreciate you taking the initiative and being here and being present. I just wish that everybody.
Dan, I wish the whole legislature could sit and listen to the testimony we're hearing today. I wish they could all hear it firsthand from the people who are here speaking from their hearts about what's happened to them and what is happening to our country because of what's been going on. We've got too many people, and I'll be quick to agree with you, who like to pretend that this problem doesn't exist, or want to try to justify it based on the fact that that the labor is needed. So we need to have an open and porous border. And we do have those people here. I wish they could hear these testimonies that are yet to come all of that. So I thank you very much, and my heart goes out to you. I can't imagine the pain of just losing a son, but to unnecessarily lose one because our government didn't do the job that they are elected to do and paid to do. So,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's exactly why I'm here, and that's exactly what I want to hear an elected official tell me.
That's why I said we have an obligation. Our government's number one job, even though they'll say the only job we have here is to pass a budget, we have a responsibility to protect the people of Texas.
Budget doesn't help a dead son.
No. And this is part of exercising that responsibility to step up and correct what we see is a situation that needs some serious correcting. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Golvach. Mr. Rivera?